This is the third CLM tutorial, and here we're going to talk about output format arguments. So we'll be looking at the keyword arguments for channels, sampling rate, the header type, the data format, and the sound file extension. CLM has three global variables which are of interest to us here: CLM header type, CLM data format, and CLM S rate. Their header type is whether it's going to be a WAV or an AIFF or an SND file. The data format is the type of data that's written to the sound file. So whether it's a 16-bit signed integer, 24-bit sound file, 32-bit floating point sound file, etc. And the CLM S rate is the default sample rate for CLM. The default header type in CLM, it depends on what operating system you're on. But clm-play will automatically choose the header type for you and add the extension based on the header type. But this can also be specified by the user if you want. So you can make an AIFF file have the extension .wav if you like, but the format will not actually change by doing that. So let's have a look at these things individually. First of all, let's look at the channels argument. This represents the number of interleaved channels in the output file, and there can be as many output channels as you want because the source material will be automatically distributed across all channels. This even works with mono and stereo sound files. The S-rate argument is simply the sample rate of the output file, and this should probably match the sample rate of the input files. If that's not the case, some transposition will happen. The header type keyword argument overrides CLM's global CLM header type global variable. MuzRiff, for instance, produces WAV files. MuzAIFF produces AIFF files. The data format keyword to clm-play overrides CLM's global CLM data format variable. For instance, specifying muzlfloat will give you 32-bit little endian floating point files suitable for Intel-based machines. MuzBfloat produces 32-bit big endian floating point files for PowerPC chips. MuzBshort, as a further example, produces 16-bit big endian files. Please note here that AIFF and AIFC files are not compatible with little endian formats. The header type and the data format arguments must be preceded with CLM : to specify the CLM package, as you can see in our example below. The sound file extension, if nil, will be added automatically depending on the output format of your sound file. But if you do specify it, as mentioned, this will not change the output sound file. Our example here shows several of these keyword arguments changed on the fly in the call to clm-play. So here we're specifying an AIFF header, and you can see the CLM package qualifier for that global CLM variable. The same goes for the data format. We're also specifying a sound file extension of AIFF. That would probably be the default, but we're being certain here. And we're also specifying a sample rate of 44 kHz and 8 channels in the output file.